In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 really simple soul collage prompts that you can do with just one magazine in a few minutes to spark some creativity and de-stress. So we will dive right in. These books are by Catherine Anderson. I love these. They're collage imagery books that are copyright free. You can use any magazine that you have at home or even just flipping through your favorite art book. What I love about these exercises is that you don't need previous art experience. You actually don't need to have any art supplies. You just need any sort of images and your imagination. These are great to do as a quick check-in for yourself, for some self-reflection, to de-stress, and they can be fun to share with others as well, with friends or in a class. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share each of the 5 prompts. You can follow along by listening. You can also write down your own answers or try this at home. So all I'm doing right now is I'm flipping through these images. I'm noticing which pictures are speaking to me, perhaps calling out to me in this moment. And we're just going to stop on one where you feel drawn to it or repelled by it. And that's an important piece with soul collage, is that there's an invitation for both. It doesn't have to be something that you really love and are drawn to. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It can welcome in some of those more shadowy, darker sides, or sometimes things you don't like. So I'm feeling particularly drawn to this image here on the left side. So I'm going to show a couple of prompts and then we'll move on to another image. So as we're looking at the image, one thing that is really great about soul collage, and if you're not familiar with that, you can check out this other video where I explain what is soul collage. But it's largely a self-reflection process. And so as we look at this image, one of the prompts is I see. So we're just going to start naming some of the things that we see in this image. So that might be, I see a circle, I see patterns, I see smoke, I see a mandala, and then we'll move on to more deeper prompts as we go. So the next prompt is I feel. So this can be how I'm feeling in particular as I look at this image in this moment. So it's like a snapshot of what I'm feeling right now. So I feel at ease, I feel curious, especially about this smoky center. So I'm feeling curious. And I'm feeling puzzled. I'm wondering why there's this line going in. If anybody knows with this image, I would love to hear about that in comments, because I genuinely am very puzzled and curious. And then, so that moves into the next prompt naturally, which is I wonder. So I wonder what this is for, if there's a purpose, if there's deeper meaning to this. I'm just very curious. And then the next prompt that we move into, which is more of a writing process with soul collage, and I'll move on to another image just for funsies. I'm going to move on to this other book, and I have this linked in the description box below, both of these books. I don't know Catherine. I'm not a sponsor for her at all. I just genuinely love these books for my own soul collage cards and classes, so I definitely recommend checking them out if you need more images. So I'm feeling especially drawn to this image here with this tree. So the next prompt, which deepens, so we could go very quickly through I see a tree, I see roots, I feel grounded, I feel connected to nature, I wonder how long these roots have been growing. I wonder how deep they go. I wonder what animals make their home here. And then we'll go a little bit deeper, which is a I am statement. And if you're familiar with soul collage, you're very familiar with I am statements. This is something either when you create your soul collage card or that you can use separately, that we speak from the image itself. So we would be beginning the phrase with I am one who, or I am the one who. And then we're giving ourselves permission to allow our imagination to speak from the image. That might be a magazine image, it might be your soul collage card, it might be an intuitive collage you created, a painting you created, any other mindful art practice. And we're just going to allow a voice to come out. And I like to do it 3 separate times. I notice it starts to deepen as I make the statement. So I'll show a couple of examples. It's best to do it without thinking about it too much or having any judgment. We're just curious what wants to come out. So what I'm noticing in this moment is I am one who allows my roots to spread deep and wide so I feel connected and stable. I am one who, while being in my own space, feels connected to others around me. And I am one who is always seeking growth and noticing how life is bred up, how life is unfolded. And so you might notice as you watch this video, you can follow along, you can always journal, you can notice and come back to images, how something will speak to you at a different time. And so these practices are really interesting. I find anytime I look at magazine images, like and if I go to an office and they have magazines there, I can't look at a magazine the same way now. Anytime I flip through, I often am having some sort of mindful art prompt or soul collage or expressive art prompt come through. And that's just me, but I'd be curious to know if anything shifts for you. So I'm noticing I'm also feeling especially curious and drawn to this image here with this gorgeous waterfall. So there's one other that we can do. So we'll run through the first 4 prompts and then I'll share a 5th prompt as well. And I just want to say also, this video was sparked from, I have an online group coaching program for some of my teacher trainees who I train to facilitate mindful art practices specifically. And they were asking for what are really good prompts to begin a workshop, to allow people to come in and feel comfortable and just step into a practice without it taking a lot of time or without going too deep. So this is one I definitely recommend if you're a facilitator, and you can always check out more resources on my website for facilitators. And then just for any of us personally, it's a really fun and simple thing to do without having, to commit to a full-on art practice if you don't have the time for that. So I see a waterfall, I see lushness, I see peace and serenity. I feel at peace looking at this image. I feel protected and safe. It feels like a container to me. I feel grateful. And I wonder, again, where this is. I wonder when the last time people were here in joyful space together. I wonder how I could go about coming down into this space, and I wonder what sweet secrets are tucked away in some of this lush background. And then I'll speak from the image and then share the last prompt. So I am the one who feels at peace when I return to my center, when I feel like I'm in a sacred, safe space. I'm one who feels more at ease and peace when I'm in nature and around water. And I am one who feels drawn to both the light and the shadows and honor both places for them. So again, it'll be different for everyone. There's no right or wrong way. That's what I love about this process. Sometimes it'll be really lighthearted and fun. Other times it might go really deep. And then the final prompt is the message I have for you is. So instead of doing an I am statement speaking from the image, now it's allowing the voice to come from the image itself. So I'll show a few examples. So the message I have for you is to allow yourself to take space, to return to your inner sanctuary. The message I have for you is to give yourself time in nature, to allow yourself to feel nourished by the natural spaces both within and outside of you. And the message I have for you is to be curious about all of the small, detailed crevices and interesting places you have yet to explore in the world. And so I hope that you find these interesting and helpful. I will have information linked down below for writing prompts, and definitely comment if any of these were interesting for you, and like or subscribe if you'd like to see more video inspiration for your own self-care and art practice at home. And I will see you in another video.